right, shower is completed. That's not okay.
Oh, I just saw the gnat again.
That's not okay, in my opinion. Oh! I've ordered takeout. Yes, I have. I'm using a literal butter knife right now.
Tried my first bite of food. It dribbled on me a little bit.
One day I will be a plus size influencer who has died. That is crazy.
This video is so raw, you guys. Fuck.
Damn, what a real bitch is that?
Hey there YouTube, it's me Hens, and I'm back here with Amberlynn. And before we jump into her latest vlog called The Truth About FBI Frank, with screenshots, voice memos, DMs, and text messages. And Amber, you don't use a comma if you're going to use an ampersand. We're going to take a look at some of the receipts from some of the drama that's been occurring in the last 24 hours. Let's check it out. These are some stills from Jordy's live stream, where we now get to see Dalton, the man that Amberlynn was talking to, apparently, as exposed by Amberlynn's shady ex-friend, Alexis. This is the man, Dalton, and he's a fan of the Deftones, just so everybody knows. And let's see, what did the messages say? Thanks. Now I can make the trip to Oklahoma in style. Hahaha, that's funny. That would definitely be in style. It's a picture of the car. I guess his car up above this. I'm just missing the baddie passenger princess to go with it. Ew. Ew. I'm sure you'll find one soon enough. Lol. Yeah, Amber knows she won't fit in the car. It's like a sports car. Let's check out some more pictures. Aw, that's another one of... They're all the same messages, unfortunately. I didn't screen capture other messages. And then one more. This one. Yeah, same messages. And then a different picture. Him sitting down, looking at her. Jordy's just like, oh my god. I love it. Now, let's check out some of the messages back and forth between Alexis and Emily. Because Emily's like, you keep putting my name in your mouth, and I don't like it. I don't want you to put me in your mouth. And Alexis is like, girl, it's the closest thing to Amber I'll get. So here are some of the messages that Emily sent to Alexis. Hey, this is Emily. Amberlynn and I aren't together, and I'm trying to separate myself from Goral World. Can you please not talk about me in the videos anymore? I have never done anything wrong by you, so I don't know why you have given me so much hate. I've never encouraged Amberlynn to DoorDash, bro. Lol. I think we know where we're getting the bro from with Amberlynn's speech. Do I DoorDash? Yes, I'm guilty of that for sure. But I just want to move past this chapter in my life. It's been hectic enough, for lack of a better word. You have. I literally remember what you got. Chicken nugget meal from McDonald's for you and a chicken sandwich for Amberlynn. You told her you liked and wanted to hear the crunch of the chicken. So weird. I remember it clear as day. You cannot manipulate me like you do other women. And you know damn well you stunted her progress as far as weight loss goes, and you should be ashamed of yourself for that, amongst other things. As far as I'm concerned, you knew what would happen if you got involved. This is all one message. She is crazy. This is Amberlynn's ex that Alexis is talking to like this, with a whole brick wall full of text. As far as I'm concerned, you knew what would happen if you got involved with Amberlynn. I'm not the only one talking about you. Go ahead and message the other 500 plus reaction channels that talk about you and Amberlynn. Most of us don't talk about her constantly, actually, and we're not talking about her because we're jilted, scorned lovers. That's the difference, Alexis. Just like Amberlynn, she has a lot of difficulty with nuance. It's so wild. I actually talk about you the least amount compared to all. That's not true. You only talk about her the least because you don't post, because you don't actually make videos. You're not a real reaction channel. Maybe put a little bit of content out and we can talk about it. message me or contact me again and it'll be considered harassment. Bitch, Alexis, you're not the one on the high horse. Personally, I think Alexis did something that is borderline revenge prawn. That's my opinion. And it doesn't matter that it's Amberlynn. That doesn't make it okay. Just because Alexis is a mad wannabe ex. Okay, so the final thing before we get into the vlog is a little clip I took from the Ankle, who did a video, and this is a message back and forth between Destiny and Amberlynn after they broke up, and this comes from Beck's stream that they did last night. I think it was they were playing a game, but it wasn't something that I wanted to watch because the music constantly in the background bothers me. But suggest you go watch it because apparently this is where that came from. And then Karina shared these messages in a video, and then the Ankle got it and put it in a video, and now it's in my video. So it's just making the rounds, you know?
So Amberlynn said to Destiny, "You're completely putting me last." Also, mind you, I don't think they were dating by this point. Yeah, concerning. Not trying to. We aren't going to have time for me to do anything. Oh, poor Amby. It's all about her. Need to be at the movies at 10. I want to go to Target.
Me. It's so funny. It's like if it weren't abusive, it would be funny.
Want to eat. It will take us an hour to get there. Like, what are you doing to me? You're killing, maybe? I don't know. You're
Torturing.
blanking me. I would never do this to you. Amber, you would never be able to do it in the first place. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Ugh. Like,
He's talking about the fact that she can't drive.
you would never be able to give someone a ride anywhere. You would never be able to do this or that for yourself. So stop throwing out hypotheticals. I'm going to be there soon. You haven't even left yet, Destiny. Fuck off, dude. Oh my god. I wouldn't have showed up. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I am about to. How can you be really sorry if you aren't doing anything about it? You only say you're sorry if you're going to change. What is hurting someone?
And I had to include this clip because of that one line there. Because Amberlynn understands what an apology is supposed to mean. She understands what saying sorry is really supposed to mean. So when she makes these fake ass apologies to Beck and to Destiny and to Wifey and to whomever else, it's intentional. She understands what she's doing and she's manipulating her language so she's not actually held accountable in the videos that she puts up.
You've become cold. I always thought the world of you. I never met someone like you. Kind, gentle, patient,
Manipulative.
understanding, warmest heart I've ever met. But now look at you. Don't understand what has happened. What a see you next Tuesday.
Yep.
I'm sorry. This is psychotic manipulative behavior. Absolutely psychotic.
If you like my reactions, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. And maybe consider becoming a member. It's $1. You don't ever have to. Nothing that's there is ever going to be so pressing that you need to become a member. I'm not Amberlynn. Anywho, let's get into this. It's already it's 20 minutes long.
Hey guys, welcome to another react video. I figured we should do
Moo
one.
cow.
Hey guys,
Why would you make your reaction thing? It looks like a cow print. There's so many hearts. It looks like cow print.
I figured we should do one about the FBI Frank story. Since then, people have been literally trolling me about this story. I want to clarify exactly what happened.
No one cares.
Did I lie about this? Or do I have proof that it did happen? Okay,
who cares?
So today we have a mukbang and a story time for you guys.
It's a mukbang.
Which I am so excited for. It's actually like really random and weird. So in this video, I'm actually in my office, and that picture that's behind me is this beautiful
office in quotation marks. It's not an office just because you have a desk in there, Amber. That doesn't make it an office.
woman, and her nipples were out. Yep. We have water is what we were drinking today. Wow, your girl was drinking water back then. I need to take my advice because I have not drank a drop of water in weeks, and I'm not joking about that. And what we are eating today is Singapore rice noodle, which is so freaking good. This is what it looks like.
Singapore mei fun is really good. I do like Singapore mei fun. It is very good.
Singapore rice noodle, which is...
She didn't want to mispronounce it. It's mei fun or pancit if you're Filipino. And I grew up with my aunt making the best chicken pancit because I don't eat pork. So she'd always make a pan of pork and a pan of chicken, of everything.
So freaking good. This is what it looks like. I want to eat on a plate though. Oh my gosh.
Also, once you know how to make lumpia, you never have to order spring rolls again.
In Virginia. Oh my god, this is so much. Singapore rice noodle, or
Why would you pour all of the container unless you intended to eat it all?
as it's also called Singapore mei fun, is literally
Yes.
one of my favorite things to get at a Chinese restaurant. And they give you so
It's also called pancit, Amber. Learn and expand your horizons.
much. They literally pack that container so full.
Yes.
I have never finished that in one sitting. I think
You're not supposed to sit and eat it all. Huh. It's like 3 to 4 servings for most people.
it's impossible. Holy. Okay, so in Virginia they called it Singapore rice noodle where I got it, but here in Kentucky they call it mei fun. So
Yeah, that's the actual name for it, Amber. And the rice noodles is what it's made out of, usually. Imagine that, Amber. Imagine that.
you know what? This is Singapore mei fun. So you guys can find it at your Chinese restaurant. It's rice noodle. It's like a curry base. There's onion, shrimp, bell pepper, pork.
Yeah, it's spicy too. That's the main difference.
Just deliciousness. Oh yeah, and chicken. I'd much rather have it without the meat.
Whatever, Amber. You could just ask them to put no meat, but they would be like, why are you ordering Singapore mei fun?
I don't mind the meat too much, but I wouldn't say the meat is exactly my favorite. So let's dive in. So I actually haven't had
She's
it.
not a meat girly. She just eats pounds and pounds of meat every week. She's just not a meat girly, though.
My favorite. So let's dive in.
Yum.
I actually haven't had this in so long, probably over a year. But the last time I did have it, I asked for just shrimp because the shrimp in it is really good. But the pork and the chicken, especially the chicken, is a no.
Then just ask for shrimp mei fun. Just ask for shrimp mei fun and ask if they can make it spicy. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I know they add like some places add curry and stuff like that depending on where you are, but seriously, Amber, you wouldn't miss it. You wouldn't know the difference. You never cook with curry anyways.
Absolutely amazing. So how are you guys doing?
Better than you.
Oh, by the way, this has a little spice to it. So if you don't like
Yeah.
spicy foods, definitely don't.
There's literally chili flakes, Amber. Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
Don't go for it. I'm telling you, life is so much easier when I just filmed mukbangs. Such easy content. Like, eat a good meal.
What is this crazy look in her eyes? It's like she thinks she's telling us something totally revolutionary.
Yep.
Watch.
So if you don't like spicy foods, definitely don't. Don't go for it. I'm telling you, life is so much easier when I just filmed mukbangs. Such easy content. Like,
What is this expression and emotion? I'm not sure.
eat a good meal and just talk while you're doing it. But it's not fun to react to. It's not fun to watch. I will say that.
That makes it bad content for your audience, Amber.
I was going to do my makeup.
But then I
But I
was
realized my
like,
face needs to
why? Why? I need to put some grease on my face. I need to get my lips all juicy
Okay.
for wifey.
Story time.
Ugh. I hate bell peppers. I hate them.
Wait, that bell
I'm
pepper
sorry.
was so good. Okay.
Bell peppers are so bitter to me.
So being on YouTube comes with a fair share of disappointments. I mean, amongst amazing things as well. But something that I consider a disappointment is
Nice
like
save.
telling people to off themselves or
You act
threatening to
no, you act like somebody is telling you that on every single video. I haven't once come across that ever in your comments in all of the times that I've been reading them, and I don't cut it out. If I do see it, I haven't seen it.
off someone. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. These people hide behind keyboards and they can say whatever the
Wow.
hell they want
Amber, this is not the reaction you think it is.
with no consequences whatsoever. So there has been like this idea floating around, which I feel like is such a good idea. That like if you're going to be on certain social medias, like you have to show your ID with that username. So if things
So that when you copyright claim them, you can see all their details, right, Amber? Right? So then you don't have to pay separate websites to get their information.
being said that are extremely scary, like ultimately like hardcore harassment and threats,
Like what?
like your username and your comment or your messages are linked up to your ID. I think that's such a freaking great idea. So
Oh, Ambi. You'd have to give up all of your little sock puppet accounts.
last October or November, I was simply just skimming through the comment section of my YouTube, and
She never reads her comments, you guys.
I usually get a lot of people saying mean things to me. And none of it has ever like made me feel any sort of way.
That's a huge forkful. Look at how big this is. It's not even all on the fork.
Nothing scares me, nothing like that. It all just makes me feel like uncomfy. But
Also, you do have dark knuckles.
there was one that I remember reading that kind of like was like, this is how all scary movies start. It was saying how they know where I live, they're gonna off me. They said they live nearby, like this.
Why don't you put the example up on the screen? If you saw it. If you saw it, you should start taking screenshots for your own safety. You should start documenting these things. You really should be concerned. I mean, people might even sneak up behind you and film you at a laundromat with you wearing your nasty ass slippers out in the public and then sitting looking really fish-faced. You can't imagine, Amber. Oh, you might have a stalker.
This whole thing. And I
It might
remember
be
reading it.
Jordy. Jordy might be stalking you, Amber. You never know. Jordy, he's a shady character. He's a shady character. He throws shade.
And being like, excuse me, I actually took a screenshot of it. This is the only time I've ever
Good
done this.
girl.
Like,
Good girl. Good girl.
actually been kind of like scared of a comment. I'm really annoyed because I actually do not have the screenshot of it. Obviously, like all of this happened.
How do you not have the screenshot? You already had Apple. You already had an iPhone for years. So your cloud should have already been updated. It should have been maintained and refreshed whenever you plugged in or whenever you uploaded your new photos and videos to your computer. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. You should sue Apple. They lost your data. You should sue them.
Happened in 2021, but it wasn't until February 2022
Until
when the FBI actually tried to contact me. And then I actually didn't even upload this story time until March 2022. So yeah.
So how
for all the
did you
struggle of
lose
it
your
all, I
photos?
definitely do not have that screen.
How did you lose the photos, Amber? You deleted them. If they existed at all.
Screenshot anymore, sorry. Well, as I'm taking screenshots and stuff and sending them, I remember I sent it to Becky, a couple other friends of mine. I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? So I guess some of you, so I want to say thank you, actually found that comment and was scared by it as well because dun, 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 I get a message on Instagram from my ex's sister and said, the FBI showed up for you. She sent me a picture of like the card that the FBI gave her. The FBI said, contact her because we need to talk to her.
It sounds more like somebody went IRL. Like a viewer or something, a hater, went and tracked down. Because if it's Destiny's family, then their stuff was out there too. Because Amberlynn documented where everybody lived. She didn't show all of the like addresses and everything, but she talked about the places they were going and all that, especially with Nick and Libby.
I was terrified. And all of that is true. That very much did happen. And here is a screenshot. I don't have any personal information, obviously.
Where?
Here's actually the screenshot of the person messaging me and telling me about it, and then also sending me a picture of the card that the FBI gave them.
I don't believe that that was
I
real.
had a panic
I don't. And I don't think that they would go to a former address. It has to have been a former residence that they went to. That's the only reason they would have gone there for you, especially since you're not family to them. And then after that, oh, it must have been the dad's house. Either the dad's house or Destiny's mom's house. The address of the mom's house. I don't know. That's pretty shady, Amber.
attack because I had to sit there and think of my life. I was like, literally, did I do something that I don't remember that I did? Like, honestly, I was so terrified. I was like, what is happening? And that's low-key downplaying it. I was genuinely scared. I was so
Yeah, you were scared that you got in trouble for some shit that you knew you did. Because you know that you are an abusive person. You know that it's not just manipulation when you take somebody's inheritance and spend it on food and quote unquote rent. That's not your money to touch.
confused. Do you guys ever get that feeling when like you see a cop, like you're in a car and you see a cop
No.
and they're behind you and like literally
No, Amber, and I'm half black. I don't feel that way because I'm not doing anything wrong. And if they did do it, I would know that I didn't do anything. That's the problem, is that you feel guilty because you know you're doing wrong things.
you think that you've done like the worst crime in the whole world, even though you've literally done nothing. I'm not the only person who feels this way because there are memes about it, and that's genuinely how this situation felt, but like on steroids, like a million times worse.
A million times worse, so nobody could ever understand how deeply affected she was.
I don't know why, but the FBI didn't know I lived here. So this right here is one of the reasons why people are like, this story is so fake. Like,
Is it because you don't update your address? Is it because you don't have a new address on your ID? And I know the ankle. He was shocked. He was like, wait, are you supposed to update your car registration and your license address? Yes, you're supposed to do that when you become a permanent resident of a new state. Or even when you change location, like a different city, you're supposed to change it. You're not supposed to keep driving around with that. But Amber knows that. She makes it harder for people to track her because apparently she still has open bills in her name and unresolved debt.
how does the FBI not know where you live? And that is a question that I also have myself. I truly have no idea. That's fair. Obviously, immediately, I end up calling the number that is on the FBI guy's FBI card. I was so scared. Some woman picked up and she was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna call the FBI guy Frank. And here the new side character is born.
Why is she so proud of this? This is weird. This is really weird.
Why not? So Frank was like out of the office or something, and she was like, I can give him a call like on his personal
Really?
cell phone to get like a hold of you.
That doesn't make any sense because the number on his card wouldn't have been some random desk number. It would have been his personal work phone. Be so fucking for real.
What was that voice? And in my head, I was like, why does she want to like bother him on his personal phone instead of just like leaving him a message? Like, what did I do? Oh, so scared. I was like, what is the
Well, that's the number that should have been on the card. That's why I'm a little skeptical.
promptness of this? Like, why do they want to talk to me this bad? So I said, thank you. Yes, call him if you want, like, whatever. And I'm a very patient person, but like situations like this,
No, you're not.
I don't have patience.
None of your partners have ever called you patient. Ever. Even Crystal said you weren't patient.
I was like, oh my God, I need to know, like, what is happening? Very random fact about me. I'm usually normally a pretty patient person.
No,
but,
you're
like,
not.
In this situation,
Shut
I
up.
didn't even know what the word patience meant. Like, I needed to know right this minute, like, why did FBI Frank want to speak to me? Just imagine the FBI trying to contact you guys. Like, it puts you in a headspace that you didn't even know, like, you had. So, it wasn't
even 45 seconds after I hung up with the receptionist, Frank called me.
Imagine having the FBI call you from their own personal cell
Imagine being such a dumbass.
phone that quickly and that swiftly. I was like, your girl's about to go to prison. I did something that I don't even know that I remember I did. Like,
I said, Frank, man, you done scared me. No, okay, it wasn't like that. No. Immediately, he said, you are not in trouble.
I remember in that very moment, it felt like the weight of the world left me. But then I instantly thought, what did my brother do? What did my dad do? What did my mom do?
I don't like this at all. I really don't like this. I really don't like this because this is Amberlynn thinking that she could never be somebody who gets in trouble. She thinks that because she's gotten away with things for so long, nobody will ever, ever, ever have a real problem with her. And that's why she thinks that all of the reaction channels are just haters. It's not, Amber. You are the problem. You put yourself into situations, like I said, where you have 3 people, 2 feeders, and 1 weirdo who has a duplicate personality of you are fighting over you, essentially, and what it means to be in relation with you. It's weird. It's weird, and she likes it
Like, why do they want to talk to me of all people?
because you're
And I was like,
dumbass.
oh my God, what did I do? Turns out, y'all, the FBI is actually on my side. I never thought that like cops or the FBI even remotely would care about some YouTuber online.
I think genuinely,
Amber, just be grateful that they didn't find you when you were a kid, because they would have asked you to turn in your parents, and you would have done it, probably, for candy and cake.
we underestimate some scary, scary comments online. And we always think like certain situations like, oh, something like that would never happen to us. That person was just a troll. I mean, it kind of goes along the lines of like when I got diagnosed with cancer, I thought in my head, like prior to, like, oh,
It's kind of like when you got COVID. No, I'm immune. I'm immune to criticism, to COVID, to semaglutide. I'm immune. I'm unique. Unique. One of a kind. Never gonna be made again.
oh, that would never
Because I'm sterile now.
happen to me. Like, no one's invincible to anything in this world.
But turns out that a lot of people reported that very comment
Really?
that I saw. And I guess they reported it to like authorities, like even higher than like just reporting it to YouTube. The FBI ended up seeing it.
So somebody should have a copy of that comment, right? It should be circulating after you put up this video. People should know exactly what you're talking about, since people were in this community for a long time. They've supported you. They've gone to being on the other side. They've come back sometimes. So somebody should know about this. They should know what comment, and they should have a copy of it, I'm sure, right? Amberlynn, you can't ask your community before you post this video, hey guys, could you find me this comment if you know where it is? Because you know it's on Reddit if it exists.
Like Frank was like, oh my God, like complimenting me on my following and stuff.
this is another part that people
Lol.
tease me about, and it's true, he did compliment me on my following, and I think that just a lot of people do that because I think that's just a nice thing to say. I don't really think that like everyone has been completely genuine when they compliment me, like when I tell them about my following. Like,
I think she means the number. That's all I think she means. Like, oh, I have 200,000 subscribers. Oh, that's a good following. That's a good size. But that's what I think they mean. Not, oh, your community is so engaged that they make a whole community around you. This isn't normal for YouTube, that they have a whole community of reaction channels about all of their flaws, because there's so many and each person has a different perspective. That's kind of insane.
if like the first time I ever saw my tax accountant, like 8 years ago, I was complimented by them because they needed to know my job. And then one time, like I was signing up for a freaking Costco card years ago, and they complimented me on my thing then because you needed to say what your job was. Like, I think people just say that to be nice. It doesn't mean they're being 100% genuine.
How would they know about your following unless you bring it up? Just because you say, oh, I'm a YouTuber, that doesn't mean that they know how many people follow you. That doesn't mean they know how many subscribers you have. What are you talking about? You must bring it up.
But FBI Frank did compliment me. Whether he actually meant it or not, it did happen.
But guess what? So they took that comment very seriously,
As they should.
They did a whole IP address, like tracked him. Ooh. Okay, I'm not gonna say who the person is that left that comment, but it is a guy. And
Well, yeah, if you doxed them, then what would you expect to happen? What would you expect, Amber?
I know his full name. I know
And
where he
this is why she said the thing about the license. That's why. It's the only reason. She would not want it to be used against her. She would bitch and moan if it did, but she wants to abuse the system. That's what it is. She abuses the system of YouTube anyways to live off of it more than she could ever afford to if she were on government assistance. Amberlynn knows that. She knows she could never lose YouTube because if she does, she's either homeless or she's losing weight or she's out of this world.
lives. So
Those are her
worried for me.
options.
They were like, "Do you know this guy?" I said, "Nope, never heard of him." So I don't know. I think it's pretty neat that like
It's pretty
if there
neat.
is like a fear that I have from a YouTube comment or a message. Frank is there. He said, "Call me anytime."
Aw.
Girl, you are so stupid.
Aw,
Nobody
FBI.
nobody would give you a case agent to work your specific cases unless they're literally going on retirement or something or literally on probation for some reason. You are not important. I hate to tell you. I hate to break it to you. 250,000 subs, which are you even no, you're 240 something. You're like a moderately sized YouTuber overall. There's people with tens of millions of subs, like Amber.
Frank being there. I actually did not contact him since then. So
If you ever feel threatened or anything like that,
You should try ringing up the number and watch it be disconnected.
never talked to the FBI before. So I thought that was like literally the craziest thing. Like they were
What if the guy, yo, what if FBI Frank is the guy who actually left the comment? What if FBI Frank is actually a real person, but he's the guy that left the comment and he went over to their house thinking that she was still there? What the hell? You guys, I never even thought about it like that. The way she's saying it, maybe it is a real guy. Maybe it is a real guy and he told her this whole story and he showed up at that house with a real card, but it was a fake real card because you don't just show a card, you show a badge.
really truly worried about my safety, and I don't know, I felt like really safe for a minute there. I just had to share that with you guys. It's so weird.
That the confluence of events makes me think that it's less likely a real FBI person. I don't think that's a real FBI person.
I don't know. I think I'm just like really overly grateful. Like when it happened, this happened like I know it's been like over a month, maybe 2 months. I don't really know. But when it happened, I was so scared at the beginning. I was like, "Oh my God, what did I do? Like, what did I do?" But it turns out
No,
I didn't.
that look to the side. Watch her look to the side like, what did I do? Like, as in, what out of the things that I have done in my life are they catching me for? Not, oh, whatever could I have done?
At the beginning, I
Watch.
was like, "Oh my God, what did I do? Like, what did I do?"
That little slow look to the side. That wasn't a, oh, I don't understand what I ever could be held for. That was more of a, oh, I've done so many things, like, shit, I can't remember.
But it turns out I didn't do anything. They were actually just there for
Hmm.
me. I don't know.
So the day that I did
Hmm.
get in contact with the FBI, I was actually going over to a friend's house that day, and they were trying to call me, but I was on the phone with the FBI. So then I actually texted my friends and I was like, this isn't even clickbait, because that was something that we used to say, like when we would say something outrageous, we'd be like, this is not clickbait. But I even sent them a text, which you can see here in the screenshot, where I was like, I was just on the phone with the FBI, and I'll explain when I get to your house.
Jesus Christ,
I was just on
Amber,
the phone
that
with the FBI,
screenshot.
and I'll explain when I get to your house.
Yeah, I wish this was the why. Is the why because of this part or because of this part? I wish it was clickbait. I'll explain when I get there. We get there. Of course, because she has to be driven there.
I
Ew.
just think that's pretty great. It makes me feel like comforted.
Yeah, Amberlynn. If you think about it, if the FBI was a real person, it's kind of a rich person weaponizing the police against somebody who's most likely not wealthy. So, a little weird. But also, Amberlynn delighting in somebody else's potential criminal punishment. Interesting. Interesting. Especially since she jumped to the conclusion that it was an action of her mother, brother, or father that was bringing shade upon her name. That's very telling, Amber. And I can only imagine how she bitched out Mama Lynn initially when people started talking about her mom on the channel, you know?
Shrimpy.
Ew.
Not gonna lie, watching this video makes me want to do a mukbang. It makes me want to just enjoy a meal with you guys. Something I genuinely love about mukbangs is I eat less
Just sit in front of a mirror. Just do that.
in them. Because when I'm eating at home by myself, because I live by myself, I'm usually eating while watching something, and I eat extremely fast, and it's like I'm not sitting there enjoying my meal. But when I film a mukbang, I'm eating slow, talking to you guys in between bites. I don't know, I kind of miss it.
That's slow. You're already halfway through a full-size portion of Mayfun. Amber, there's nobody helping you with this. You are going to finish this entire thing. It's like 3 meats, eggs, noodles, and seasonings. What the hell are you talking? And vegetables. What are you talking about? You're eating slow.
Yeah. The shrimp tastes amazing, but I very much am a texture person, and the texture of shrimp, I've slowly realized that I'm hating it more and more.
Why don't you puree it into a smoothie? I'm sure you'll enjoy it just
So
as
like,
much.
here's another piece of shrimp. I could have a few pieces, and that's like it. Then it just makes me feel sick.
Such a true statement. Texture of shrimp is not always the greatest, but thankfully the Singapore rice noodle here in Oklahoma where I live, I don't know if they like cook their shrimp like extra long, but the texture doesn't get me grossed out as bad. But like if the shrimp is like
Wouldn't the texture be worse if it's overcooked?
not cooked for as long as I want it to be, like I can only take a couple bites.
So you want it to be rubbery and hard, like you're stabbing a piece of chicken. That's what you want it to feel like.
But it's like the first few bites, I'm like, okay, that tastes good. It really does taste amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend this.
Not a meat Corley. Watch her stuff the meat in. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum.
But yeah. How's everyone doing? Y'all, behind the scenes, I'm trying to really do some stuff.
I genuinely have no idea what I'm talking about there. And I don't know if I actually talk any more about the FBI Frank stuff in this. So I'm going to continue watching this. And if I do have something to say about the FBI stuff, then I will let you know. But I do have a screen recording of me actually speaking to the person who first sent me the FBI card and said the FBI like came by to
Amber, it might not be okay for you to release this voice note if it's recorded without their knowledge. There's some states where you have to have both parties consent.
like speak to you. So I want to show you guys like what I said to them, which is also proof that I was not lying. All right, so I did watch the rest of the video and no more talk of FBI Frank happened.
She comes off like a 6-year-old when they think that they're really being arrogant and smug, but you know that they don't understand the full context of what they're saying. Like, Amberlynn, This makes you look like a terrible, shitty person the way that you're acting right now. And plus, you didn't provide any definitive evidence. And the story that you told made me think that actually there could be even another scenario where the person that showed up to the ex's family's house was actually the same person that made the comment in the first place. Because you said that they traced their IP and they tracked them down and then talked to them and all this stuff. And then he's now your personal case agent. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
So here I'm going to show you the voice memos that I actually sent the person who contacted me. So here it is.
Okay, so I'm sending this in voice memo because I feel like it would be easier. So first of all, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I just got so much anxiety and I was so scared, but I figured I would tell you guys like why they wanted to talk to me, because I just called them, just talked to them, because I don't want you guys worried. I mean, I don't even know if you are, but
Bruh, if Beck or Destiny comes out and says that this is all fake, that they were the ones texting on the other end, I'm gonna lose it.
so I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? I thought maybe I did something bad and I didn't know, you know? So after calling, the guy got a hold of me, and it turns out they saw a comment on my YouTube page from back in October. And I remember this comment so well, which is really weird because I get so many comments per video.
And I remember it so well, just like I remember instantly when I think about it that I followed that Instagram profile totally by accident because I was trying to block them because I saw they were such a heinous person. Really, Amber? It's like she never ever learns.
But this comment was threatening to kill me. And I remember it because they were like, yeah, I know exactly where you live, and just like literally threatening to kill me. So I guess the FBI found that
What? Yeah, and they were threatening to block me, and yeah, they were threatening to block me. Really, Amber? It's so confusing and complicated that you had to say it twice.
comment, which I'm not sure how. But long story short, whoops, I was cut off. But long story short, they
Whoops.
actually found the IP address for that account, and they found the guy's name, and they have a picture of him. So they want to show me the guy to see if I like know him or not. I don't know. But I was really scared, but thank you for
How are they gonna show you, Amber? Are they gonna meet you in person? Is that what she's saying? Because did I just like blank out and miss the part where she actually met FBI Frank in real life? I thought she only ever had a conversation with him. And then they're not gonna text you a picture of a suspect. What the fuck is wrong with you, Amber?
contacting me. I hope you're doing good. So the last 10 seconds of that voice memo was something personal to them
Sure.
about their life. So I am just saying that obviously I'm going to leave that part out.
So the FBI Frank story is absolutely without a doubt real. It did happen. I know it sounds far-fetched. I know it sounds crazy, but it did happen.
And due to them not
You saying, yeah, it did happen in present day doesn't make it truer. What I just said still applies.
knowing where I live, that obviously raises questions of, was this just a troll? I don't have the answer for you because I don't know. I'm strictly telling you what happened to me. And the whole
So my question, did you ever see the photo, and how did you see the photo if they never met you in person? If FBI Frank never met you in person, how did you see the photo of the person? Tell me. I really, that is the one thing. That's the smoking gun of the whole situation. How do you know what they look like if you've never seen a picture of them because you've never met with the FBI in person? They would not text message you a picture
FBI Frank story is 100% true, troll
of a
or
suspect.
not, but like it seemed very real.
All I took out of this video is
It
I want
seemed very real.
to film a mukbang, y'all. Like, what the heck? Anyways, that is the end of this reaction. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one.
Bye. That was really something. Let's see what people say. I don't know. This is... Let's read these comments. Reactolin is so boring. Please discontinue it immediately. Yep. Yep. And this is a number divisible by 3. Amber, you should look at that comment. You like 3s. No one cares about FBI Frank. What we care about is Beck's inheritance you stole. FBI Frank contacted me through someone's sibling and told me that you stole Beck's inheritance, so give it back. Full offense. The FBI wouldn't give two shits about a YouTube comment. Yeah, if anything, YouTube would just ban them. That's all they would do. Girl, we don't give a fuck about FBI Frank. Address you stealing Beck's inheritance. You have to remember, this is 2 weeks behind. You can't be too hard on her. Then FBI Frank asked if she was single and complimented her on her perfume. How, if he never met her in real life? Hey guys, let's go over the FBI Frank situation. Shows herself describing the noodle she was eating for 3 minutes. Really though. FBI Frank was like totally amazed by your following and he complimented your hair and your earrings. You invited him over and you both played juicy and ate Jamocha almond fudge ice cream. You're like totally besties. I love that. How do you not drink water for weeks and then complain about your lipedema? She doesn't. It's impossible to not drink any water for weeks. And unless you're just pissing barbecue sauce. Because your kidneys would be shutting down from no water whatsoever. She has to have water somehow. Here faster than Amberlynn moving the word inheritance into blocked words. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Inheritance, inheritance, inheritance. Maybe it'll appear. Give me back their money, you weirdo. Yep. The proof is just her texting herself on different accounts. Okay, FBI Frank. Hey, I said that too. It could just easily be that. Because technically at that point in time, I believe she did have 2 phones. Inheritance. Yes, everybody. No one cares. Yep. Let's read one more. Let's read this because it's so true, even though it's such a simple statement. Anytime Amber says dun 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 during story time, she's lying. And that, folks, is where we'll leave it. Because it's so true. It's so true. And if you like this reaction, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a guitar in the comments. Because Amberlynn is going to be playing her swan song soon. Bye!